everyone. Welcome to STEAM for Tweens. I'm Miss Jennifer here at the Warrenton Library. In today's program, we're going to talk about glass and all the wonderful things it can be used to make. If you picked up your supplies here at the library, you have everything you'll need to complete our craft at home, except for scissors, tape, and markers, colored pencils, or crayons. If you didn't get a bag, you'll also need to gather a cardboard tube, a piece of white construction paper or cardstock, mirrored paper, which can be inexpensively purchased online, and a bendable plastic straw. Glass is everywhere. There are probably 100 objects near you right now that are made of glass or depend on glass for their existence. Take a look around. Window panes, smartphones, computer screens, microchips, digital clocks, and camera lenses are all made of or with glass. Glass is one of the most transformative materials ever created. It is heat resistant, cold resistant, resistant to water, wind, pressure, and can be made into long, thin, durable fibers. We are completely dependent on glass, and it is made from one of the simplest, most common resources on the planet, sand. Thousands of years ago, people found that when heated to very extreme temperatures of over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, grains of silica in sand fused together to form glass. That's much hotter than you could ever get your sand in your oven today, so please don't try this at home. Remember, we said that sand is made of one of the most common resources on the planet. Silica, or silicon dioxide, is a chemical compound that makes up more than 50% of the Earth's crust. Roughly 26 million years ago, scientists think a comet, oh, I don't think that's going to show up. There it is. I'll hold it right in front of me. A comet collision and explosion caused grains of sand in the Libyan desert, which you can see here on the border of Egypt and Libya, to melt and fuse. When those superheated grains of sand cooled, a vast stretch of the desert was coated with a layer of glass. About 10,000 years ago, someone traveling through the desert stumbled across a large fragment of this glass. It was carved into the shape of a scarab beetle and made into the centerpiece of a brooch, which was found in King Tut's tomb. Libyan desert glass consists of almost pure silicon dioxide and is found in only this one location on Earth. This is an example of glass that was found, already made, and then transformed into something else, in this case, jewelry. Then another innovation came along that changed the way we could use glass. We figured out how to make extreme heat in a controlled environment with a furnace, and we learned how to create glass. Many ancient civilizations had the ability to make glass items, but they couldn't make it transparent. It was simply used for decoration. The island of Murano in Italy, which is up here near Venice, became a hub for glassmaking because it was a dangerous job, and glassmaking accidentally caused many fires in their communities. In 1291, to protect public safety, the Italian government moved the glassmakers to the island of Murano. And here are some examples of Murano glass. They have vibrant colors. These are little pieces of glass candy. When we think about innovation, we tend to think about Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, and other lone inventors. But the most important innovations are collaborative. They are created out of ideas that are shared, discussed, and built upon. The island of Murano was so densely populated with people doing the same job that new ideas spread quickly, with glassmakers sharing as much as they were competing. Today, hubs of innovation are located in places like Silicon Valley and Seattle, Washington. One Murano glassmaker, Angelo Barovier, experimented with ways to make clear glass and discovered that ashes extracted from a mineral-rich plant called saltwort could be added to molten glass to make it transparent when it cooled. He had to import this plant from hundreds of miles away in Syria, and it created glass as we know it today. There are many ways our lives are impacted by glass innovations. Industries such as agriculture, chemistry, architecture, medicine, transportation, entertainment, social media, all are reliant on manufactured glass items. The list goes on and on. So let's talk about some glass innovations. Now, the first is a magnifying glass, which is just a glass lens and works because glass has a natural ability to bend light and magnify. Our next example are glasses, spectacles, which are glass lenses placed over the eyes in a frame to create spectacles and change your vision. In this case, these are readers and they just magnify the words that I'm looking at. In the same way that the manufacturing of glass was impacted by the furnace, the innovation of glasses was also impacted by another innovation, the printing press. People didn't realize they had poor eyesight until the creation of the printing press, when books became available to the masses. This in turn led to a surge in demand for eyeglasses because more people became literate and they worked until an older age. Eyeglasses were the first piece of advanced technology that ordinary people regularly wore on their bodies since the invention of clothing. Experimentation with basic lenses led to the development of innovations such as the microscope, in which lenses are lined up one on top of another facing down, the telescope, in which lenses are lined up in front of each other facing out, and the camera, in which a lens is attached to a box with light-sensitive paper. Then another innovation opened up a whole new way of using glass. In 1887, Charles Vernon Boys wanted a thin fiber of glass. He attached a glass rod to a lightweight arrow and used sealing wax to stick it together. He heated the glass rod until it softened and fired the arrow with a crossbow. It pulled a thin strand of fiber from the molten glass that stretched almost 90 feet long. The glass fiber was durable as a strand of steel the same size. This led to the creation of fiberglass and fiber optics. When glass fibers were mixed with plastic resin, a whole new construction material became available. It is strong, bendable, floats, and can be used in insulation, boating, wind turbine blades, circuit boards, helmets, and so many other things. I have an example of fiberglass insulation here. It looks nice and puffy like a cloud, but it's actually little fibers of glass, so it can poke you. But this is used to insulate homes and keep them nice and warm in the winter and cool in the summer. By sending data down fibers of glass, we now have fiber optics. It is a fast, accurate, and efficient method of information transportation and the backbone of the internet, giving us global communication. And I have a fiber optic wand here, which is not so much used for communication, but we are sending light down these fibers, just like they do with fiber optics. And we are creating a light wand. What glass is needed to do something as simple and everyday as taking a selfie? Can you think of some? The photo is needed to be taken through a glass lens. It's stored and you can manipulate it on circuit boards made out of fiberglass. The data is transmitted via fiber optic cables and we view it on a screen made of glass. We're going to do a craft now that is based around another glass innovation, which is a kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscopes work on the principle of multiple reflections via mirrors. In the 1400s, glass makers in Murano coated the back of clear glass with a metal mixture of tin and mercury to create a mirror. For the first time, people saw their reflections clearly and accurately. In this case, the reflective sheets in your kaleidoscope work like mirrors to reflect the image of the drawings you make, creating a symmetrical pattern. The word kaleidoscope comes from the Greek word meaning beautiful form to see. So let's get started. You'll need to take your cardboard tube, and you can either use a toilet paper roll or cut down a paper towel roll or a wrapping paper roll, anything you'd like. That's going to mean that the inside might be a slightly different size than the one I'm using, but you can just change, make your little adjustments and make yours at home using whatever you have. So the first step is to decorate this tube in any way that you desire. You can use your markers, colored pencils, crayons to decorate this however you want. Then you're going to take your mirrored strips, and if you have a bag from here, we have pre-stuck these to a piece of paper for you to make it easier. These have an adhesive back, which is not necessary to do the craft. It's just how they came. So we went ahead and stuck these on. You want to have 3 pieces of mirrored strip lined up with a little bit of gap between them so that you can fold this into a little pyramid shape. So you're going to take the sheet we've given you or put your own sheets together, tape them together, make sure that they can fit inside your toilet paper tube. So we're going to make a pyramid, and you want to be able to slip that down inside. So you might need to adjust your measurements a little bit, but a little bit, around 1 inch is probably good, but you can adjust as you go. So we're going to line up the mirrored strips. You can tape this down, or if it fits snugly enough, you can just slide it right in as is. Make sure it's not going to come out the end because we're going to be holding this up to our eye. So make sure you have a nice snug fit and it's not going to come sliding back out. And that is going to be the mirror portion of the inside of your kaleidoscope. Then you're going to take your straw and cut it down a little bit. The length of it just needs to be long enough to go down the side of your tube. So we're going to tape that to the side of the tube. And let me show you how that looks. We want the bendy part to stay in front of the small part of the tube and the long part of the straw to go down the long part of the tube. We're just going to tape that down. So it's going to look just like that. Okay. And now we're going to take your construction paper or cardstock and cut it into a 4-inch circle and poke a hole in the center. And now comes another fun decorative part. You can decorate this in any way that you want. You can put shapes and colors and designs. You can see I just put a whole bunch of patterns on here. So you can decorate yours however you like. You can make more than one of this. If you have more paper, you can make as many of these as you like. And this is going to be the part that creates the pattern on your kaleidoscope. So try out different designs, shapes. You can even write letters if you want to. So you are going to place your circle onto your straw so that the straw goes through the hole that you've made in the center. And you want the design part to face the hole in your tube. All right, so it's going to look like this when it's assembled. And the grooves in the straw will help guide so that you can spin. There you go. So that you can spin your wheel and get different views. So we're going to assemble our tube so that your mirrors and your design can spin. And let's see if I can show you what mine looks like. There you go. And you can see how my pattern changes as I move the card around. So this is all I'm doing. I'm just sliding that around. So you can look into your kaleidoscope and explore all the reflections created by your design. I hope that you enjoyed today's program. Come by the library to check out these books featuring more information about glass, and maybe you'll become the next great inventor of our time. In next month's STEAM for Tweens, we'll be focusing on the A in STEAM for a program about pixel pictures. Don't forget to register for a supply bag to pick up everything you'll need to participate at home. In the meantime, head over to our website, faulknerlibrary.org, click on the research button, and select Science, Math, and Environment from the list shown. There you'll find Science Online, a resource featuring articles, videos, experiments, and activities to enjoy on a range of scientific topics. If you would like to try your hand at using a microscope yourself, we have an upcoming program you may be interested in. Coming up on Saturday, November 4th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., we are offering an opportunity to gain hands-on experience working with microscopes and learn about optics, cells, microorganisms, and bioengineering with scientists and engineers from local research institutions. Activities are age appropriate, engaging, and educational for all age groups, although participants under 10 should be accompanied by an adult. So check our website for more details coming in October for this program in November. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.